your girl's been shopping. So now I'm about to share with you guys a few of the new products I picked up from Sephora and share my thoughts on them. So I picked up the Haus concealer. I got mine in the shade 40, medium deep golden. Then I picked up the new Patrick Ta Major Dimension eyeshadow palette. I have no clue why I picked this palette up because it's just a basic neutral matte palette, which I already have in my collection. But I mean, it doesn't hurt to have an updated formula. Then I picked up the DANESSA MYRICKS Groundwork Neutrals palette. Do you see what I mean? I don't know why I picked up two of the similar types of palette, but I think the reason why I went with the DANESSA MYRICKS palette is because it's supposed to be like a full face palette. You can use it on your eyes, your brows, your face, your lips. So I'm not sure which one I'm gonna use in this video because I don't know, just let me know. Depending on the one that I use, let me know if you guys want to see a full video on the other one because I don't think I'm going to use both of them. I'm leaning more towards the DANESSA. I picked up the new Glossier foundation and I just wanted to try this because I haven't been too intrigued by the products from Glossier because I'm not into that style of makeup. Okay, if I'm gonna wear makeup, I'm gonna wear makeup for real. But what made me want to purchase this one is it's supposed to be a light to medium coverage foundation versus, you know, the sheer one they had previously. I haven't watched any reviews on this foundation, so I don't know how I'm gonna like it. So I'm excited about that. Huda Beauty launched her Easy Bake and Snatch setting powders, and I picked up two of them. I have one in the shade Cherry Blossom, which is the pink one. I already tried this one. And I have one in the shade Banana Bread. Yeah, I think those are all the new products I'm gonna try in this video, and let's get into it. So I'm gonna use the Glossier Stretch Fluid Foundation for buildable coverage, and I have the shade Deep 3. And this foundation is supposed to be long wearing. It has a liquid formula with a medium coverage, natural finish, and it's also hydrating. It's a hydrating gel cream foundation that nourishes skin for buildable light to medium coverage with a natural to you finish. I ordered this online, so I don't know how the match is gonna be. It has a pump. I like the packaging on this. I do, yeah, it's very cute and minimalist. This is what it looks like on the back of my hand. Pretty. It's thick. It's not liquidy or anything, so I can definitely see what they're talking about when they say it has a gel texture. Let's see how this looks on the face. And I feel like the match looks okay. Oh wait, yeah, it looks pretty good actually. It looks good. I feel like it's blending in with my skin. I zoomed you guys in so you can get a better look at just how everything is looking. So this is what two full pumps look like on my face. I would say, yeah, it is pretty medium coverage with the two pumps that I did. It's not matte. I would say it has a more natural / hydrating finish. And so far so good. It looks and feels good on the skin. Next up, I'm gonna try the Haus Triclone Skin Tech Hydrating and Depuffing Concealer with Fermented Arnica. I have mine in the shade 40 Medium Deep Golden. So that looks like This concealer is considered clean at Sephora. It's vegan. It has a natural finish. It's supposed to be hydrating and be good for acne or blemishes and good for dark circles. It's supposed to be a long-wearing concealer that visibly blurs, brightens, and conceals with medium buildable coverage that depuffs after 2 weeks. So this concealer is packed with a lot of skincare ingredients like niacinamide, which is supposed to help brighten and boost skin hydration, the fermented arnica, which is supposed to reduce the look of redness and irritation. That doesn't apply to me. And a hyaluronic acid complex, which visibly plumps and hydrates. This is what the wand looks like. I feel like it's a unique doe foot applicator. I haven't seen any other concealer on the market with an applicator like this. I'm gonna let this sit for a little bit because I like to let my concealer sit a little bit before I blend it out. So I'm gonna stay true to that, testing out this concealer. So let's go ahead and blend out this concealer. I'm gonna be using my Sonia G mini base brush to blend this out. This concealer is blending out really well. It's very easy to blend. I feel like even though I let this concealer sit a little bit to, you know, increase the coverage on it, it's not keeping the coverage. Like, I'm not seeing the kind of coverage that I would expect from a medium buildable concealer. I feel like it's just blending away on my skin. I'm gonna apply just a little bit more and see if it adds any more coverage. Okay. Yeah, I would say that's buildable. I think I got pretty decent medium coverage. I'm not sure that I could build this up to a full coverage because it just has a tendency to just blend right out. Okay, y'all. So far so good. I think the concealer looks beautiful. Very lightweight, easy to blend. The only downside I would say is it is blending away just a little bit. Now let's get into this DANESSA MYRICKS palette because, I'm gonna do something that this video might go left really fast because I'm about to use this palette to set my under eye and all that good stuff because it is supposed to be a full face palette to be used in many different ways for your eyes, face, lips. And here's what she looks like. I'm gonna pick a shade to set my under eye. And I think I might go in with Sandstone. Sandstone looks kind of like a banana color. Let's start with Sandstone. And immediately I'm having issues with the DANESSA MYRICKS palette because if, like I said, these smaller shades, that's the powder formula, and I'm trying to use this brush to pick up the product. I literally had to pinch my brush just to get the product on there, and it is just not, it's not user-friendly. Here we go. Y'all, this is not user-friendly. I don't know if it's worth the effort. Now, let me try a different brush because this one is not working out. Okay, y'all, I can tell you right now, I don't like the experience of using the powder formula to set my under eye. One, I could barely get my brush into the product. Two, I feel like it messed up my under eye. It got so textured up under there, but I would not recommend using it that way. I'm gonna go in with my tried and true hourglass powder to fix this up, and then I'll be right back. So what I'm gonna do right now is, again, I'm gonna get back into the DANESSA MYRICKS Groundwork palette, and let's see if I can find a shade to use as a bronzer. And I think I'm gonna use Harvest. I'm gonna use the Harvest pomade shade. And again, this is a typical brush that I use, you know, the Sonia G classic base brush is what I use to apply my bronzer. And again, for it to be a face palette, I'm having to pinch my brush a little bit just to get it to fit into the pan. So I'm not loving that, and it's also getting quite a bit dirty. Also not loving that. Okay. Okay, it's definitely the pomade. Ooh, that's pretty. That's a pretty bronzer shade. But look, this is what I'm saying. Look how dirty it's getting. But that is pretty. I do love that shade for bronzer. All right, now I want to use the same shade but in the powder formula to set the bronzer. Y'all, I cannot. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. Let me go in with my regular bronzer. I cannot. I'm gonna go in with my Charlotte Tilbury bronzer because I can't. I cannot. That pan is too small. But now I'm gonna try again one more time to use this core. I'll try to use this one as a blush. Okay. Oh my God. I feel like I'm trying too hard to make, yeah, okay. I'm trying too hard to make this palette work as a face palette. And do I need a whole new set of brushes just to make this work? Can y'all see that? Like right now, I don't know, you can barely see there was anything on my face. I'm still having a hard time picking up the product on the brush, and it's just not doing what I need it to do. What I will do is I'm gonna try to go in with this flat brush from Wayne Goss. I think this was the airbrush. I'm gonna try to go in with this one with the powder formula of core to see if I can get a little bit more out of it. So I'm literally swiping it in like that. Ooh, it's a little dusty. Okay. So when I layer it with the powder, it's definitely giving more of a payoff. I hope you guys can see that. Y'all, I am really messing up with this video because I completely forgot to try the Easy Bake powder. All right, y'all, so I'm just gonna try that Huda Beauty Easy Bake and Snatch powder in a different video because it's too late, ain't no going back now. But what I am gonna do is continue on with this DANESSA MYRICKS Groundwork palette, and let's see if I can get a nice eye look out of it. So I'm gonna go in with Bark, and I'm just gonna put that all over my eyelid. And let's see, and this is the pomade formula I'm using right now. It's easy to blend. It is picking up, I can see it, but it's just not a lot of pigment to it. I'm gonna just put that all over my eyelids. This is gonna be a simple look because I already know for this palette it's most likely gonna be a learning curve for me, just because I'm not familiar with these, this pomade formula. I'm gonna go in with the core shade, the core pomade formula. It's picking up very well on this smaller brush, and then I'm gonna run that like above or my fake crease. I'm gonna run that above my crease just to add some warmth. Probably should have did this first, but here we are working backwards. But okay, it's definitely showing up. I'm gonna set the pomade formula with the powder formula. So I'm gonna go over on top of Bark with the Bark shade, and hopefully it doesn't change the look too much because I kind of like the tone of the pomade, and it did. It did. But they're plain, yeah. Let's see. see. Okay. I think it's blended nicely on top of the pomade. It's not dragging. Yeah, that's pretty. And I'm gonna go with the powder formula core and run that on top of the pomade. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the shade Miracle, and I'm gonna use that on my brow highlight. I'm gonna start with the pomade shade first. Oh, did I say Miracle? That says Mirage. My bad. I'm gonna go with Mirage on this little brush and use that as my brow bone highlight. And this again is the pomade. Oh, that's pretty. I do feel like the pomade had a little bit of trouble sticking to my eyelid because right there just has a, you know, an empty spot, and I definitely put product there. And I guess because the pomade didn't stick, the powder shade isn't showing up as well either. Then I'm gonna go in with the powder formula of Mirage and dust that up there as well. So now I'm gonna repeat the same steps under my lower lash line. I really like the look I created. It's just a basic look, okay? It's a neutral palette, so you're not gonna expect this to reinvent the wheel or anything. But let's see if I can use Mirage, and I mixed it with Sandstone. And let me see if I can do like an inner corner brightener. And this is the pomade formula. I mixed both of them to get this brightened inner corner. Just for the sake of it, let me just go on top of that with the same two shades, Sandstone and Mirage, in the powder formula, and set that. All right, y'all, so this is the final look. Y'all, it was a struggle to get here, but I'm not even mad. I am not mad at the look at all. So let me go and give you guys a quick recap. So first off, we didn't get into the Patrick Ta palette, and I did not get to use the Huda Easy Bake and Snatch. I didn't use these two products because, you know, it was a lot going on. I wanted to focus this video on the DANESSA MYRICKS Groundwork palette because since it was marketed as a full face palette, I figured that I would just use it in the different ways that they said that you're supposed to be able to use this palette. But let me do a quick recap, starting with, I guess I'll do it in the order how I use the products. Let's start with the foundation. I really enjoyed the foundation. I felt like it is everything that it claims to be. It was very lightweight, medium to full coverage. So far, I've been wearing it for probably over 3 hours now, and it still looks just as good as I put it on. Yep, it looks just as good as the time I've initially applied it. Of course, I set it with powder and everything, but so far so good. I do see that it is, you know, forming the little smile lines in my, you know, smile lines. But outside of that, I think the foundation looks good and the match is pretty spot on. Next, as far as the Haus Labs concealer, I really like this concealer. Now that I'm looking at it, I feel like it definitely gave me a nice medium coverage. It was super lightweight, easy to blend, maybe a little bit too easy to blend because I felt like along the way it was kind of like blending away the coverage. But if you apply, you know, you can build this up. So because it's so lightweight, you can build this up and it still won't look cakey. It is just beautiful, and I think it's holding up very well because, yeah, I have very minimal creasing. Like, I can barely see it. So A++ for that. it looks amazing. I really like this concealer so far. Next up was this palette. I feel like this video was pretty much just about this palette, and that's because it claims to be, you know, a palette for your face, eyes, brows, lips. Overall, my thoughts on this is I like this palette, but I don't prefer it for using it on my face. Going forward, the most I'd probably use this for is on my eyes, which is, you know, it's kind of disappointing because then it just makes it another neutral palette, right? What would separate this from the Patrick Ta palette, for instance? And the reason I wanted to try this was because of how it was marketed to be used in like pretty much all over your face. You can use it that way, but I found that the brushes, unless you're already using small brushes, then yes, that's perfect. But for me, I could not get my regular size brushes to fit in the pomade shades, which is the bigger shades. And then the powder formula, it's even almost nearly impossible to get a big brush to get this powder formula on your face. So that's my take on it. I do like it. Would I say run out and get it? No, because it's just not user-friendly. It's not, I wouldn't pick this up and say, oh, I'm just gonna use this all over my face. I do like everything. Everywhere I used it, it looks great, but it's just not user-friendly. I mean, I guess I didn't try too much in this video because I forgot to try I forgot to try one of the products. But let me know, guys, if you want to see a video on the Patrick Ta eyeshadow palette and another video with the Huda Beauty Bake and Snatch powder. You guys let me know, but that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that it wasn't too long. And yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about the palette and if, you know, you're interested in getting it and everything like that.